Look at these cities. For decades, we've built a continent of glass and steel reaching for the skies. It can seem fragile, like a strong wind or a rising tide could threaten it all. And with headlines screaming about climate change and extreme weather, it's easy to think our buildings are passive victims. But what if I told you that's a dangerous illusion? The truth is, a hidden war is being fought every day. A war against the elements. And the battlefields are the very buildings we live and work in. Welcome to North American Life. Today, we're uncovering the secret world of climate-resilient architecture, the hidden features, ancient wisdom, and cutting-edge tech that are making our continent's buildings smarter, stronger, and more survivable than you ever imagined. Before we talk about the future, we have to look to the past. Long before the term climate resilience was coined, North America's original architects were masters of it. They didn't fight their environment, they worked with it. Take the ancestral Puebloan cliff dwellings in the southwest. The massive rock overhangs provided shade in the blistering summer sun and blocked cold winds in the winter. And the dense thermal mass of the adobe walls kept temperatures stable inside. It was a natural air conditioner and heater, all in one. Or look at the traditional dogtrot house in the American South. That central open-air hallway acts like a natural chimney, pulling cool air through the entire house. It was a perfect passive cooling system for a hot, humid climate. In the north, builders in New England and Canada used steeply pitched roofs so heavy snow would just slide right off, preventing collapse. And the deep overhangs protected the walls from driving rain. This wasn't just building. This was bioclimatic architecture, a fancy term for designing based on your local climate. The Anasazi understood thermal mass. The settlers of the South understood cross-ventilation. The builders of the North understood snow load. They were the original climate engineers. And this foundational principle, designing with nature, not against it, is making a massive comeback. So, how do we apply these ancient principles to a 100-story skyscraper? We build a modern arsenal. Let's break down the threats and the high-tech solutions. First threat, the wind. In hurricane and tornado zones, the enemy is aerodynamic lift. The solution? Shape and sway. Modern buildings are designed to move safely. Skyscrapers like the Transamerica Pyramid are tapered to channel wind around them. Others, like the Comcast Technology Center, have giant pendulums at the top called tuned mass dampers that counteract the building's sway. It's a dance with the storm, not a fistfight. Second threat, water. Instead of just building higher levees, resilience is about managed retreat at a building level. It's about accepting that water will come in and designing the building to survive it. In flood-prone areas like Miami, we see wet floodproofing. Ground floors are designed with materials that can get wet and be easily cleaned, like concrete and tile. All the critical equipment is moved to higher floors. On a smaller scale, some houses even have amphibious foundations designed to float on rising floodwaters. Third threat, fire. This isn't just about sprinklers. In wildfire zones like California and British Columbia, it's about creating a building-sized ember guard. This means using non-combustible materials like fiber cement siding, metal roofs, and double-pane tempered glass that can resist intense radiant heat. It also means paying attention to the small details, like covering vents to prevent embers from being sucked inside and using fire-resistant decks that stop a blaze from finding a foothold. Fourth threat, the creeping threat of heat. You've probably heard of the urban heat island effect, where cities are way hotter than the surrounding countryside. For this silent threat, the solutions are often about color and vegetation. A green roof, essentially a rooftop garden, doesn't just absorb carbon dioxide. It dramatically cools the building beneath it and the area around it. A simple white roof can be 50 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than a dark one. It's a simple, powerful return to reflective natural principles. A single resilient building is a fortress, but a cluster of them is a kingdom. The next frontier is thinking beyond the individual structure to the resilient community. This is about redundancy and interconnection. It's the concept of microgrids, localized energy systems that can island themselves from the main grid during a widespread outage. Imagine your entire neighborhood having power even when the rest of the city is dark. Community centers and schools can be designated as resilience hubs with their own backup power and water. And it's about rethinking the very ground we walk on. Sprawling, impermeable concrete creates flash floods. Resilient design uses permeable pavements, rain gardens, and bioswales to let the ground absorb water like a sponge, mimicking a natural watershed. This shift from fortress to community is the ultimate expression of climate resilience. It's not about every building for itself. It's about creating a network system that can take a punch and keep functioning. Now, we have to address the uncomfortable truth. This incredible technology and design doesn't protect everyone equally. There is a resilience gap. The latest resilient features are often baked into new, expensive developments. But what about the historic neighborhoods, the affordable housing complexes, the communities that lack the tax base for massive upgrades? This creates a two-tiered system: those who can afford to be safe and those who are left exposed. The true test of North America's climate resilience won't be the shiniest new skyscraper in Manhattan. It will be how we protect our most vulnerable communities in places like Miami, Little Haiti, or coastal Louisiana. The good news? Retrofitting with simple, cost-effective measures can dramatically improve resilience without astronomical costs. Things like hurricane clips for roofs, fire-resistant siding, or backflow valves for sewers can make a huge difference. The challenge is making it a priority. So, what does this all mean for the future of the North American landscape? The story of climate-resilient architecture is not a story of fear. It's a story of incredible adaptation and ingenuity. It's a fusion of our oldest wisdom and our newest technology. We are learning to build a continent that can bend, not break. We are moving from being conquerors of the land to becoming partners with it. The North American life of the future will be lived in buildings that breathe, power themselves, manage water wisely, and protect the people inside from the storms we know are coming. It's one of the most important, if hidden, revolutions happening right outside our windows. What do you think? Have you seen examples of resilient design in your own city or town? Is your home built with any of these hidden features? Share your stories and thoughts in the comments below. I read every one. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden strengths of North American life, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more explorations of the continent we call home. Thanks for watching.